Hello and welcome to the Tau update for March. We're back with another one and I'll pass it over to Karim for an update for the dev team.
Thank you, Fola, and welcome everyone to the March update for the development team. Andrei has continued his work finalizing the Tau Lao application, and he's fixed some of the last stubborn issue with MetaMask login. So we're nearing the beta release for that one. So Tomáš, on the parser side, he continued working on the new early parser where he fixed a few bugs. And he also added the new meaning for the nested programs to work as rules as opposed to just sequences. And he started working completely on removing the old parser and relying on the new parser. And for that, he's had to add a few transformations of TML structures. Lucca continued his work with Ohad on specializing BDDs for various data types. He's added an optional templated BDD library to reverse the variable order. He's also working on a new negation and disjunction algorithm for the 2CNF extractions in BDD, which is a long time project that he's been working on. And finally, David, this month, he's continued his work on finalizing the TML release by continuing his work on cleaning up the code base. He's merged a lot of the conditionally compiled code and removed some of it. He's also resolved a lot of compiler warnings and addressed some of the issues that were raised by static code analysis SonarQube. He's also put some touch-ups on the TML optimization where he's come up with a new method of evaluating the rule costs by evaluating rules against a randomly generated database. That's it for this month. Back to you, Fola.
And now I'll pass it over to Andrei for his update for the month.
Hello, everyone. This month, our tester identified several major issues on Tau Live application, including the calendar suddenly freezing during specific interactions, newly created public sessions disappearing, and incorrect sorting of public session on the front page of the application. Additionally, we encountered problems with cryptocurrency functionality on mobile platforms. And I managed to get everything working, and I cleared all the major issues our tester found, and cryptocurrency issues I fixed on iOS, but MetaMask still not functional on Android, and I'm actively working on it. So I'm looking forward to wrapping up this last issue and moving on to the beta testing phase of the platform. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Andrei. Really looking forward to using that and getting the beta out for Tau Live. And I'll pass it over to David for his update this month.
Thank you, Fola. Hi, everyone. This month I've been improving, as Karim commented, the implementation of the cost function. It's a new approach. The idea is just to generate a random database and run the query against that random database and just compute the time that we spend with it. The idea is close to the ones used in linear algebra libraries, for example, BLAS, Atlas, and things like that. In order to speed up all the results, what we do is we canonize the rule before check it against a random database, so we could catch the results and we minimize the number of runs that we have to do. Apart from that, I've been updating the documentation, merging all the changes to master, and I continue with the general cleanup of the source code, removing conditional code, removing warnings and issues detected by SonarQube. And that's all for my month. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you very much, David. I'll pass it over to Lucca for his update now.
Thank you, Fola, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. So this month I've been working on two fronts mainly. The one is the Boolean algebra BDD library, which we have been developing, which I specialized to bool, which means that we have a special implementation for the instantiation of the Boolean algebra to bool, because this allows for much optimizations. And then the second task on this library that I've been doing this month is to implement an option, because as I mentioned previously on my updates, We also implemented a bunch of options, for example, to use variable shifters and the sizes for the bit fields, for the addresses, and so on. And now we also have the option to reverse the variable order, so that not necessarily the smallest variable is on top, but also the biggest variable can go on top. And on the other front, I've been working on the 2CNF extraction project, and there I'm now at the point where I want to implement the negation and disjunction procedures. The 2CNFs are very helpful when doing conjunctions, but when doing disjunctions and negations, one has to think about an efficient way on how to perform those calculations while not necessarily computing the 2CNFs always, but only on demand when they are needed. And so for these procedures, I've been coming up with solutions which I will be implementing this month. So thank you for listening, and I'll give it back to Folder.
Thank you very much, Lucca. I'll pass it over to Tomáš for his update.
Thank you, Fola. Hello, everyone. This month, I've worked on the parser. I fixed several issues with end of file, EBNF, and conjunction negation. Regarding TML, I've worked on transformation for first-order formulas, sequences, state blocks, and nested programs. And nested programs, I've implemented a new meaning of them, so they don't work as sequences, but as rules, while sequences are still supported, but with a different syntax. Now a nested program is now a way to run a program as a single rule. And nested program is evaluated within a single step of the program which we are nested into. And now I'm working on finalizing the transformation of parsed TML and on removing the old parser from TML codebase. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tomáš. Fantastic update. I'll pass it over to Umar for his update for the month.
Yeah, hello team. Okay, for this month, I've been spending most of my time on developing the algorithm for garbage collection of early items. This required us to look into how these items, when they get completed or when the scan fails, how they can be removed safely without affecting the overall parsing success. I have been experimenting with a few approaches, so the work is still in progress. Hopefully, the coming month, we would be able to complete this feature. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Umar. And last but not least, I'll pass it over to Ohad for his update for the month.
Yeah, well, it's the same basically like last month, continuing the very hard effort on the Tau language, on the implementation and the patent and everything.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in, staying with us. Thank you very much for the team, for your updates. And yeah, we'll see you in April. Cheers. Bye.